And hello again, everyone. This is Chaz Thomas, and I want to take a few moments just to talk about my nonprofit organization. It's a youth arts program I started 15 years ago. Yeah, 16 years ago. And it's called the AMP Community Arts Program. AMP Community Arts Program. It's an art, music, poetry, community arts program. Also known for AMPCAP, AMP's Community Arts Program. Anyway, I started it about 16 years ago. And this is why I started it. I have four sons, four talented sons, all talented in the arts. And just so happened, I was keeping them over the summer, I believe, this particular time. And, I was working off shifts. I was working all types of hours. But anyway, I really couldn't be at home like I wanted to. And I didn't want my sons hanging out in the street either, so I kind of opened up my place to them. Now, I don't know if that was the best idea, but it kind of turned into something. So I have a studio. I had a studio at the time set up at my place, a recording studio, and I did a lot of my producing out of there. And some equipment was always out and ready for whenever I needed it. So during the summer, right, we get busy over the weekend, but during the week when I have to go to work, I'm like, Dad, what are we going to do while you're at work? I'm like, you can, I don't know, what do you guys play video games, watch TV? I don't know. I said, but Dad, that's boring. I'm like, and at the time, again, I understand they're around, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years old. I think maybe 11. So I said this. I said, I tell you what, guys, do you guys want to, kind of tinker around in the recording studio? Man, they were like kids in a candy store. Even though they didn't know exactly how things worked in there, they've only seen me work. But they said, yeah, you're going to show us? I said, you know what, I'll show you what I can, but I'm going to need you guys to figure it out on your own. That'll give you something to, keep you busy. So anyway, after a period of time, I say maybe after about a month or so, I happened to walk by the studio and I hear this music. I said, wow, that sounds good. It doesn't sound like anything I wrote though. So I go in there and I see my son, at the board, just creating. I said, like, wow, did you make that? He said, yeah, Dad, I figured out how to use it, and it's really cool, and listen to this and check this out. So he was very excited about his production, and actually it was pretty decent. And I said, wow. I said, keep going. And so after a few weeks later, I noticed a couple of his friends were there in the studio too. And they were really doing something. I was really impressed with what they were doing. And I found out later, he didn't tell me at the time, but I found out later he was selling beats to his friends at school. And I'm like, you selling your beats? Yeah, people buying my beats. I said, oh, that's awesome. So anyway, I say, nice. So I remember this one time I came home and there were a little bit more kids there. They're writing music and, singing and doing their thing. I'm like, this is really nice. I said, you know what? You guys need your own place, because my place, obviously, I didn't want a whole lot of traffic in there. And, they just needed their own space. Let's put it that way. So I came up with the thought, you know what? Why don't I create a space for you guys? You know, because we got artists here, we have music. I got people over here writing poetry. I said, why don't we go AMP Community Arts Program? There you go. Make it a nonprofit, and you know, we'll get you guys a place, a spot where you can come and do exactly what you're doing here. A place where you can come write your music, rehearse your music, and things of that nature. And so that's where the idea began. So now what, right? What do you do now? Okay, you got this idea, you got all these kids, where are you going to put them? So I'd go around to different schools and things of that nature and tell them about the idea, and they think it's awesome. But the problem is, with everything is politics. He said, yeah, we can do it. You can do it here. But we, you know, of course, need, you know, money for our space. And at the time, obviously, we didn't even have a board. We didn't have a budget. I said, okay, well, we'll see what we can do about that. So I put together a board. We started doing fundraisers and things of that nature. And actually, we were doing pretty good in the beginning. But as you know, if you run a nonprofit, people come and go. People get interested. People fall out of interest, which is fine. But anyway, long story short, fast forward a few years, and I meet this person. I meet this older woman, and she's selling her property. It's a beautiful graystone in Chicago, and it was 3 stories. I said, wow, this would be very nice for us to put the program in. This would actually be perfect. You know, all 3 floors we can use for practice. Put a recording studio on 1 floor. Make one of the floors a gallery for the artists. This would be awesome. So anyway, we were talking about the deal, and it really looked like it was going to happen until you know, her children got involved and found out that her mom actually was going to donate the property to the nonprofit, and they had nothing to do with that. That's it. So they put a stop on that, and it was sad about it. A few years later, the property was sold for taxes, and so I mean, wow, that could have been a great spot for us. But things happen for a reason, I believe. Anyway, so long story short, we've been doing okay, you know, with the funding we do get, but you know, I know in my heart God has placed this mission on my heart, or purpose, for a reason. I myself is a self-taught musician. I taught myself to write music, play music. I taught myself art, how to draw, how to paint, all that self-taught. Only because when I was coming up, you know, my parents really didn't have the money to send me to art school. So, but I so loved art that, you know, you know, when you love something so much, you'll find a way to teach yourself, or you just have the God-given talent. And I believe God blessed me with the talent of art, and also with the talent to help other young artists, so that, you know, wouldn't have to go through the struggles of, you know, trying to hustle, which is not bad. Sometimes you got to hustle till you make it. So anyway, that's the beginning. That's the beginning of AMP Community Arts Program. A little bit of history there. Again, fast forward, I'm meeting, you know, local business people, politicians, kind of telling them, explaining to them about the vision for AMCAP and how I think it'd be great for the inner city youth who have the talent of art, a place where they can come and build upon the art and do great things. You know, get them off the street, And I'm going to tell you this, especially in Chicago, and I'm sure other cities too. There is a lot of talent, young talent out there. You know, these kids, these young people are so gifted, and I'm talking about natural talent. I've had this young man come into our place, 16 years old. His name was Joshua. I never will forget this. And this is when I was staying at home at the studio home. He came in and he used to bring this pencil and pad whenever he came over. One of my son's friends, and one particular time I happened to take a look at a sketch pad, and he was drawing. He was drawing me. I'm like, wow, that's pretty good. It looked just like me. I'm telling you, you would think it was a Polaroid picture. I said, Josh, you are very talented. He didn't talk much. He was a quiet guy. But he said, thanks. I said, how long you been doing this? He said, hey, as long as I can remember, I said, you are very talented, man. We are definitely got to do something with your talent here, get you some exposure. And so anyway, after a few weeks, I said, you know what? And he was one of the driving forces, too, for me to go out and actually find a place for, I call them my kids, to go out there and actually, find something for these kids to do, a place where they can go and practice their skill. Anyway, after a few weeks, I didn't see Josh around much, and I asked my son, I said, hey, have you seen Josh? He said, oh, Dad, you didn't know? I said, no, I didn't know what. Yeah, he was picked up by juvie, man. He was stealing art supplies, and they took him to juvenile. I said, no, I didn't know that. And but that was just some of the stories. I heard other stories about some of my kids getting in trouble because they didn't really have any alternative, no other place to go. And when younger kids have nothing to do, they gravitate to other things. Sometimes not good. But anyway, I said, okay, I get it. I really do have to find a place for these kids because we have a lot of young talent just walking down the street with nothing to do. They're getting in trouble. They're getting on drugs. They're whatever. We have to save them from themselves sometimes, but we have to give them options. I know when I was coming up, we used to have places like the the Boy Scout, Girl Scout clubs. We used to, another one called Four Leaf, I believe. I can't remember, but the YMCAs were free and open to the public. We had options. We don't have those options anymore, at least not free. Everything comes with a cost. So anyway, that's another reason why I'm trying to push to get this done. Anyway. Right now, we'll really fast forward here. We're to a junction in the nonprofit where my board members and I have come together, and we are on a serious mission. And I'm going to share the idea with you, the vision. We want to purchase this warehouse. It's about 20,000 square feet, and we want to convert it into a performing arts, community arts center for the kids. We want to have the gallery. We want to have a gallery there for the public to come and see the kids' arts. We want to have a state-of-the-art recording studio for the kids to come in, write their music, and we also want to put a cafe in there. We have a couple of kids who really are chefs. They really know how to cook. So we want to put all that under one roof for the community and for the community to see these talented kids that they deem are bad kids. To me, there's no such thing as a bad kid. Now, there's bad directions, they're bad choices. But as a child, to me, I don't believe there's bad. Mischief, yes, we all get into mischief. When we're young and have no options, But my thing is giving them options and having them perfect their God-given talent. So this year, we are determined to raise money to purchase this warehouse and convert it into the AMP Center for the kids. And I'm doing, myself and a few other people have made it a personal mission to make this happen one way and the other. And so we're really reaching out to folks to help this vision come true. And we don't want it to stop here in Chicago. We want to build something like this in all the inner city communities. And I say inner city communities for a purpose. Because someone approached me and said, hey, you know what? We like your idea. We'd like you to put a AMP Center out in our community. And you know, it was a pretty well-to-do suburb. And I thought about it, but I said, well, you know what? That would be a commute for the kids. And, you know, I want it convenient for them because it's for them, you know. So, I mean, we're still thinking about it, but I prefer it being in the inner city and accessible for the kids to get to. So anyway, that's what we're doing right now. That's just a little bit of it. I got more details, of course. And but right now, this is a pitch for raising funds for the organization. As you can tell on my page, there's a fundraiser. It's a legitimate nonprofit. We're a 501c3. We have a tax ID number. So when you donate, you can use it as a tax write-off. And, you know, just kind of help us get to our goal. And it is really for a very good cause. It's for our youth. It's for these talented kids that we're losing to the streets. And really, especially in Chicago, I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of seeing our young artists get caught up in the system. And I'm trying to do something about it. I am going to do something about it. This thing will happen. I promise you. God has put this on my heart too long. And I'm going to tell you a quick story. When I was, I still work for corporate America at the moment, but I can remember years ago when I first started the program, I was working downtown Chicago in the financial industry. And I was talking to my manager at the time, and I was telling them about my vision, my dreams, what I want to do with the nonprofit. And he was a pretty good friend of mine. He's been with the company for a long time, a senior executive. And I can remember him coming into my office and saying to me this. He said, now, Charles, I know what you're doing. I love what you're doing. I love your idea. The company is behind you. We've gone to some of your fundraisers, and it's a beautiful thing. And he said, you know, you put so much time and effort in putting this together. You know, I've seen you work countless hours. You'll leave here and go work with the nonprofit, and it's, you know, and that's great. It's a great cause. He said, but you know, at this point, why don't you just let it go for a moment? You know, and kind of focus more here. And I paused for a moment because, first of all, I didn't know he knew much about the nonprofit, but obviously he did. And I can remember telling him, I said, you know what? There are sometimes, some days that I do want to let it go. I do want to let it go because it's really taxing me. But it won't let me go. And he just looked at me, and I think he got it. It won't let me go. You ever have something so powerful in your soul that you knew or you know this is something you got to see to the end. God has put this thing on my spirit, in my heart for so many years. I'm telling you, every year that it goes by, I'm like, why am I still doing this? I'm not getting, paid to do it, obviously. Sometimes we don't have the funding. Sometimes we don't even have the programs in place for the kids. Why am I doing this, God? And God just said, just keep going. I got you. The time will come. Just keep going and don't give up. Don't give up on me and I won't give up on you, I can hear God say. And so every year, if you follow my page, every year we're doing some type of fundraiser or we're trying to raise funds. But God has made a much more clear vision for me this time. We have a budget in place. We have illustrations in place. And it's much more structured now. And I do believe this. God will put something on your mind, but it may not happen right away, okay? And it's probably a good thing it doesn't happen sooner because you're not mentally or ready for it to happen. So throughout the years, I've gotten knowledge, I've gotten wisdom, I've had wise counsel. And so now I'm at the place where I have people in place, I have a strong board. And again, we are determined for AMCAP to happen, and it will happen. I had one of the parents used to tease me, call me Dr. X, Dr. Xavier, I guess from X-Men, because I have all these talented young people, and sometimes they don't know how to use their talent. And, let me tell you something about artists. We don't fit in with normal people. Well, I don't say normal people, but we have a gift, and sometimes this gift we don't know how to use. But God has given us this gift for us to survive and to share with other people. And so it's our job as adults to teach these young children, young people, young artists how to use their art and, appreciate their talent. So anyway, that's some history on AMP Community Arts Program, how it came to be, and how we're on a mission now to raise funds and get our building. And I hope you find it in your heart, if you can, to donate or even donate your time or just some encouraging words for the kids or for the students goes a long way as well. Okay. This is Chaz Thomas. Thank you for listening. And I really do appreciate you guys for listening. A lot of you guys have been my Facebook friends and family for years, and I really do appreciate that. Because of you guys, I do keep going. I get my strength from reading your comments and your likes. You don't know what that does to me every day. It encourages me to encourage other people because you help people. I look at it like this. By helping others, I'm actually helping myself. And so I really do appreciate the help. Life's not perfect. We're not perfect. But you know what? That's why we're still here and trying to do better. Right? So one more plug. We're going to have a podcast for the young artists, too, a platform for them. It's called the AMP Project, the AMP Project podcast, where we're going to have some of our young talent come and kind of talk about what they're doing and how you can support them. So anyway, that's it for now. And look out for the AMP Project podcast. And until next time, God bless you. Okay, and for more information on AMP Community Arts Program, you can contact us at phone number 312-270-4973. That's 312-270-4973. You can also reach us at our website at www.ampcap.org. That's amcap.org. Also, if you'd like to donate, we have a donation page on Facebook under the AMP Project and or under AMP Community Arts Program. Feel free to donate. It's a tax write-off. We are a nonprofit 501c3. Thanks again for all your help and support and all your prayers. And until next time, God bless you.